Good morning, students. After the last class, we will start with section A, chapter 2, utilization of food by the body, that is digestion and absorption. The first thing that we will start today is with the term enzyme. Now, what does digestion mean? Digestion is basically a process of biochemical transformation where a complex and larger food particles is generally in or enzymatically or broken down into different parts, and they are absorbed and assimilated in different parts of the body for different purpose of our body and different works of our body. Now, what does this digestion basically requires? Digestion requires digestive canal, including mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus, digestive glands, where we have all the glands in mouth like the parotid gland, submandibular gland, pancreatic gland, liver, etc. And one of the most important gland, that is the enzyme. Now we will move forward to the characteristics of enzyme. Number one, as you can see in this picture, enzymes are all substrate bound. They are all substrate bound. Here you can see that there is a substrate and there is an active site of the enzyme. So what is happening? This substrate, this bond is getting itself attached into the active site and forming an enzyme substrate complex. And after that, they are helping to produce the products. That's why they act on specific substrate. Next, as we know, enzymes are always protein in nature. They are sometimes activated by zymogen. Now, this term is very new to you. What is this zymogen? Basically, zymogen are some proteolytic enzymes which help to activate some enzymes and for their actions to a particular substrate. Like trypsinogen is a type of zymogen which activates trypsin, which again help the protein to break down into amino acids. So trypsinogen over here acts as a zymogen. So zymogen is basically some some enzymes which actually help to activate some inactivate enzymes, pro-enzymes we can say. Inactivate pro-enzymes gets activated with the help of zymogen. Enzymes always act as at a specific temperature and pH. Certain enzymes are there which acts as a lower temperature and a lower pH, or specific temperatures are there. Certain enzymes work at a higher temperature. So if we can see that pepsin, it's a stomach enzyme, as we know, we have studied it earlier. And if you can see the pH at what pepsin can work at the highest level, optimal pH. So the word optimal means the maximum, where the pH where we can get the maximum output of the particular enzyme, right? So this is the optimal pH for pepsin. Next, in case of, so this is highly acidic. Again, optimal pH for trypsin we can say, which is an intestinal enzyme, is between 8 is at 8.5 8.6. That means it is highly basic. So this is how the optimal pH is there, and it helps in different action of the particular enzyme. Next, the different parts of the enzyme or classification of the enzyme. Enzyme has a protein portion which is known as the apoenzyme, and we also have a prosthetic group, which is the non-protein part. So the protein part is the apoenzyme and the non-protein part is the prosthetic group. Prosthetic group is again divided into coenzyme and cofactor. So this is the cofactor and the coenzyme, and the whole enzyme is known as the holoenzyme. So apoenzyme, where we fit in the coenzyme and we get the whole enzyme. On this whole enzyme, the substrate, the specific substrate will work. So this is how the action of the enzyme takes place. Next is the different naming of the enzyme. Number one, by the type of action they do on a particular type of protein or a lipid or a carbohydrate. So it's basically named after their action on a particular substrate. So it's proteolytic enzyme when working on protein, like protease. So we use this term ASE, okay, lipase on lipid and amylase on amylose. So it's basically substrate specific. Next that we have, when we break down, we also have the same thing for protein. Instead of ASEase, it is lytic. If it is lipid, it is lipolytic. And if it is sugar degrading, it is amylolytic. Now there are certain specific action as well. Like when it is oxidation, they are named as oxidase. When it is reduction, it is known as reductase. And when there is elimination of hydrogen atom from any kind of reaction, it is dehydrogenase. So this is how an enzyme work. This is how the naming of an enzyme is done, and it's just the brief of it. Thank you.